Hare Krishna World Raiser, Sabina and Roger here. Let's watch Bhagavad-Gītā As It Is, an introduction by Swami Prabhupada. Chapter 10, 11, and 12 will be read out of this book.
Yeah, so I have read this book twice, and we're diving into some other versions of the Bhagavad-Gītā, and this is still my favorite, so stick around for this one. But before we get started, we just want to thank all of our wonderful channel members. Thank you so much for your generosity and your support. And anybody interested in joining our fun community, please check it out and join us.
Thank you.
So, about Krishna, the devotees actually can interpret about Krishna book. Others, if they are not devotee, how they can interpret on Krishna? Just like a member of a family can say very nicely about the head of the family, how outsiders can say about the family. That is not possible. Similarly, about Krishna, a Krishna devotee can speak nicely, not others. Others have no right to speak about Krishna. And Krishna also admits Arjuna as the right student of Bhagavad-Gītā. In the beginning, Krishna says that I have selected you as my student because you are my friend and you are my devotee.
Yeah, so do you understand what he's saying there? Because I get his point that it's very difficult, to understand some of the ultimate truths that Krishna is speaking in the Bhagavad-Gītā if you're not already, seeking to know that or already kind of, connected to Krishna as, a devotee or understanding that, okay, this is a great, great being, that is speaking some truth. If you're going in from the positionality of, not believing that this is, God's song, then you're going to interpret it very differently, right? And you're going to see it as not true, and you're not going to understand some of the things. So,
in other words, we can understand that Bhagavad-Gītā can be understood who has intimate relationship with Krishna. Just Krishna says, you are my dear friend. That is intimate relationship with Krishna. And without becoming a devotee, nobody can be intimately related with Krishna. These are the factors to be understood. So, this Bhagavad-Gītā was spoken 5,000 years ago to Arjuna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and the science of understanding God is there in this Bhagavad-Gītā. Bhagavad-Gītā is the science of God. Everything has got some science, scientific book to understand that particular subject matter. Similarly, there are different types of concept of God. Generally, they take it as an idea, but we don't take it as idea. We take God as concrete fact. Just like you are seeing me, I am seeing you. This is concrete fact. Similarly, a God can be seen by you, and God is already seeing you. There is no doubt about it. But you can see also God. So that process we have to understand, how to see God. That process is mentioned in all the Vedic scripture. That is called bhakti-yoga, that process. Krishna also says in the Bhagavad-Gītā, bhaktya-mam abhijanati javan jasyami tat. If anyone wants to know Krishna, what he is, then one has to accept the process of bhakti-yoga. There are different types of yogas. Yoga means linking oneself with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, speculative yoga will not help us. You have to take concrete yoga. Concrete yoga is Krishna Consciousness. So,
yeah, so the big thing, so I know this about him, right? He's really a proponent of bhakti yoga, right? Which is one of the yogas that Krishna's talking about. And yeah, the Hare Krishnas are very much in favor of bhakti yoga being the highest, right? And I do see that as well. Like, I don't disagree, but I also love the other ones because they all kind of lead towards that. Once you understand God through jnana yoga, you're practicing karma yoga, and then, meditation, and then naturally, you'll purify some stuff, and then it'll be inclined, towards, devotion and surrender, right? And then the Krishna consciousness, yeah, that's yoga. So that's enlightenment. So that's the goal. So yoga is union with the ultimate. And yeah, that reveals, Krishna consciousness. If you're a Krishna devotee, not to say that there's not other types of enlightenment where your Buddha nature is revealed, but I think it will have a different flavor of enlightenment, even though it's the exact same process, right? So it's transcending the ego, and then your path is going to determine kind of, the state that you're in, after, because we see it even amongst enlightened beings like Ramana Maharshi and Nisargadatta Maharaj. Extremely similar, but very slight differences on how they taught about God, right? So even though they're both enlightened, probably on the very similar levels, different paths, and then slightly different, representations in their experience as enlightened beings, right? So, yeah, very cool.
We have given our introduction of the Bhagavad Gita that one has to understand Bhagavad Gita as it is directed in the Bhagavad Gita. There is direction. How to read Bhagavad Gita. People are reading Bhagavad Gita without taking the direction. This we have explained in the manner that if you take some medicine, there is some direction on the bottle that this is the dose.
Yeah.
You take so many drops, so many times, that is direction. Similarly, for understanding Bhagavad Gita actually, you have to accept the direction as given by the author himself, Krishna. He says that long ago, some 40 millions of years ago, he first spoke this Bhagavad Gita to the sun god.
We heard that.
Do we know that?
And sun god
Okay.
transmitted the knowledge to his son Manu.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
And Manu transmitted the knowledge to his son Ikkaku.
Yeah.
Imang vivassati yugam prattavan aham abhayam. Vivashan manave praha manu Ikkaga vibravit. So, the Rajarshis, they are all kings. Manu is king, Maharaj Ikkaku is also king, and the sun god Vivashan, he is also king. He is the king of the sun planet, and his grandson Ikkaku became the king of this planet, Maharaj Ikkaku, and in this dynasty, which is known as Raghuvansha, Lord Ramchandra appeared. This is a very old monarchical family, Ikkaku Vansha, Raghuvansha. Vansha means family. So, formerly, the kings, the head of the administrative executive, they used to learn the thesis or the injunction given by God. So, according to Bhagavad-Gītā, only a devotee of Krishna, a person who is intimately related with Krishna, he can understand what is Bhagavad-Gītā.
Okay, so I don't want to offend anybody, but I do disagree with what he's saying here, because he's implying that you have to be a Krishna devotee, before you read it and before you can even try to understand. But I see it that a genuine seeker, a person seeking the ultimate truth, will be able to understand it because it's the same, process. And how can somebody become a Krishna devotee until they read it? I didn't become a Krishna devotee until I actually read it. So I was seeking the ultimate truth. If there's a truth knowable by human beings, I intended to know that. And then my path led me to the Gita, and I understood it. And then I became a Krishna devotee. I wasn't a Krishna devotee before because I didn't know anything about Krishna. So I think in that sense, you have to have a little bit of leeway. He's saying that you can't understand it unless you're a devotee.
Yeah, that's really interesting, because how can you be a devotee without having read the Gita?
Yeah, I think you need to read the Gita with the desire to understand the truth of what he's saying and accept and have an open mind to the possibility that this could be God. And then you'll get the blessings, and then through that, and then you'll become a devotee.
Yeah, like me.
Yeah, I don't think you can. I don't think you can become if you're saying that you need to be a devotee first, then a lot of people won't even bother to read it, right?
Yeah, maybe he just means Krishna in the context of God in general. If you seek God, I mean, if you wouldn't seek God, you wouldn't read the Bhagavad Gita, really.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean,
yeah, that's true.
So if he uses the word Krishna more loosely as, if you're seeking the ultimate, which equals Krishna, or you have to be a devotee to the truth in order to understand it.
Yeah. So
maybe.
So what do you guys think? Did I get that wrong? Did I understand that wrong? Is he saying that you need to be a Krishna devotee first, or do you become a Krishna devotee after you've read it with an open mind? So let us know what you think.
So, Krishna Arjuna, after hearing Bhagavad-Gītā from Krishna, he addressed him as Parabrahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, Purusham, Shasatam, Divyam, Adi, Devam, Ajam, Vivam. He understood Krishna as Parabrahma. Parabrahma means the supreme truth, absolute truth, Parabrahma. Brahma, the living entities, they are also called Brahma. But living entities are not Parabrahma. Parabrahma means supreme. So Arjuna addressed him as Parabrahma. And Paramdhama. Paramdhama means the resting place of everything.
Beautiful.
Everything is resting on the energy of the Supreme Lord.
I
Therefore,
love
he is
that.
called Param Dham. Just like all these planets are resting on the sunshine, sunshine is the energy of the sun globe. Similarly, this material energy is Krishna's energy. And everything is material or spiritual, everything is resting on Krishna's energy. The resting place is Krishna's energy. In another place, Krishna says, Maya tatamidam sarvam jagat abbakta murtina masthani sarvabhutani nahang teshu avasthita. Krishna says that in my impersonal feature, I am spread everywhere, all pervading. God is all pervading by his impersonal feature, namely his energy. The example is given just like heat is the energy of fire. So fire spreads by its heat and light. The fire is one place, but the heat and light is spreading. Similarly, Krishna is in his own abode, which is called Goloka Vrindavan. There is a planet in the spiritual world, the topmost planet. As the topmost planet within this universe is called Brahmaloka. Similarly, in the spiritual sky, there is the topmost planet which is called Goloka Vrindavan. That is Krishna's place. Krishna is there. But he can expand himself by his different types of energies and by his different types of incarnation. It does not mean that when Krishna was present on this planet, Krishna was absent in Golok Vrindavan. No, it is not like that.
Interesting,
Just like I am now present here, I am absent in my apartment. Krishna is not like that. Krishna can be present everywhere, at the same time he can remain in his own abode. That is described in the Brahma Samhita. Goloka eva nivasati akhilatma bhuta. Although he is in his abode, which is known as Goloka Vrindavan, he can expand himself everywhere, and actually he has done it. So we must know how he is expanded, in which way he is in contact with us. That is the science. In Bhagavad-Gītā, these things are explained. So Krishna is addressed as Param Dham, the resting place of everything. Everything is resting. Krishna also says, Masthani sarvabhutani. Everything, material manifestation, is resting on him. Nahang teshu avasthita, but I am not there. These contradictory things. Everything is resting on him, but I am not there. But it is not contradictory. It is very simple to understand. Just like all the planets, they are resting on sunshine, but the sun is far away from the planets, some millions of miles away. But resting on the sunshine means resting on the sun. That's a fact. Therefore Krishna says, Masthani sarvabhutani nahang teshu avasthita parabrahma param dhama Pavitram. Pavitra means uncontaminated. When we come to this material world, we are also spirit soul, Brahma, not exactly as good as Parabrahma, Krishna, but still, because we are part and parcel of Krishna, we are also Brahma, Pavitra. Pavitra means pure. Just like the particle of gold is also gold. If gold is pure, the particle is also pure. So, Krishna comes to this world, we also come to this world, but we are contaminated. But Krishna is not contaminated.
Delusions.
The example is, just like in the prison house, there are many prisoners, but if the king or some king's representative minister goes into the prison to inspect things, how things are going on, it does not mean that the king or his minister is also a prisoner. He is not prisoner. But we, living entities, we have been entangled with these material modes of nature. But Krishna never becomes involved in these modes of material nature. That's what he is called Pavitram Paramam. Absolute, pure, Bhavan. Bhavan means you, your lordship. And Purusham. Purusham, he is addressed as a person. God is never impersonal. God is person. Exactly a person like you and me. And when he appeared on this planet, exactly like a human being, 2 hands, 2 legs, walking like human being, talking, behaving like human being, everything. So, God is Purusha. Purusha means man, I mean to say male, not female. Male. Without becoming male, one cannot be enjoyer. In another place, it is stated that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer.
Oh, interesting.
As soon as the word is used, enjoyer, he must be Purusha, male. So that is described. Arjuna understood him.
Yeah.
He is a Purusha.
Not sure if I
Param
understand
Purusha,
that.
the supreme person. In another place, Krishna is described as Purushottam, the best of the males. So, Purusham Shasatam. Shasatam means eternal. The Mayavadi philosopher, they think that the absolute truth is impersonal.
Yeah, so I do agree Krishna is a male deity, but I'm not sure if I understand, that the enjoyer means you have to be male, because I think females can enjoy things too. Unless
What is the enjoyer?
I don't know, the enjoyer of
Let us know what the enjoyer is.
Yeah, so I don't really understand what he was talking about there, right? and then why the supreme God? So of course Krishna, is all things, right? But so I think in this sense, is he always going to be a male? But because I think he's the source of the female deities as well, right? So if somebody's worshiping like Mother Earth or goddess, Durga or, Lakshmi or Saraswati, they're still, emanations of Krishna in a way as well. And couldn't it be said that he is also those forms?
Yeah, but if he comes from the standpoint that Krishna is form and everything, then there is only one Krishna, isn't there? There's only one Krishna
only one
person.
God and one form of God. Yeah.
Yeah, so then
okay.
Even though everybody else is the source, it's still not...
Yeah. So he's...
But then is Krishna the person, God? Is it separate from?
Yeah. So they're saying that, and I do believe this too, but I also believe it's beyond. So I can believe that Krishna, is the supreme person beyond the creation, being the source of all that is. There can be non-duality, within it. So then I kind of eliminate the debate between the dualists and the non-dualists, because even within dual, like non-duality, from that supreme Brahman, Krishna can be arisen from that. So he is the para-Brahman, right? The supreme absolute truth, the source of absolutely anything, as both immaterial and material, because you're getting so high up there that you can't say really what comes first, right? The form or the non-form, right? So, and I think, Prabhupada is saying that Krishna's form was first. So does that mean that Krishna's form, like, where did it come from then if it didn't come out of his non-form, like his mind? So you have Krishna's mind, and then from that he decided that this is what his form is going to be, and then from his form emanated everything, all the universes in the multiverse, and all of the spiritual realms, and everything's coming out of his form. But where did his form come from if it didn't come from mind, non-form? Because I'm still confused by that. I'm understanding that form can only come from non-form, like the Godhead, the Brahman, the absolute, impersonal form, but can also be personal, but prior to form. Because you can be personal without form, right? Because that's the mind, right? When I think of supreme personality of Godhead, personality is the key, not person, right? So personality is coming from mind, right? So anyways,
that's all too complicated and really not important. What I loved so far was Krishna's the resting place, the resting energy from which everything emanates.
Yeah.
And it's just put such a beautiful spin on it, like on creation, because it's like it's resting in Krishna. It's like everything is just like, it just makes you relax instantly when you think it's like everything is resting in Krishna. Such a peaceful flavor.
Yeah, the presence of God is everywhere. It's a very source of existence. Yeah, great.
Arjuna is being advised by Krishna, what is God? The conception of God, however we may speculate, it cannot be perfect, because God is unlimited, all-pervading. We are limited. So, actually, unless God himself reveals himself to the devotee, it is not possible to understand what is God. Therefore, God himself, Krishna, is speaking about himself. The process is maya sakta mana. One has to increase attachment for Krishna. We have got now attachment for material things. We have to divert that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Our position is that we must have attachment for something. That is fact. So now, on the bodily concept of life, we have got attachment to this body, and anything pertaining to this body, we have got attached. Just like I have got attachment for my wife. Why? There are millions and thousands of women beautiful woman.
Is he married? Don't know.
No, it's an example.
I have no attachment for them.
Maybe he was. I don't know.
My attachment for my wife, even though she may not be very beautiful,
Oh,
No, he's like,
is a
that's
fact.
totally an example.
Why? Because due to her relation with my body. And similarly, I have got attachment for my country. I have got attachment for my home, my so many things, because I am thinking I am this body, and anything in connection with this body, I am thinking mine. So at the present, my conception of I and mine is wrong. Therefore, if we divert that attachment to Krishna, then we can understand Krishna or God perfectly well. Krishna is just like sun. When there is sunshine, you can see the sun and yourself also. Without sunshine, in the darkness of night, neither you can see the sun nor yourself. Therefore, the process is Maya Shaktamana, developing Krishna consciousness. Maya Shaktamana Partham Jugam Junyan Madasaya. This is the yoga. Yoga means connect. Yogang Junyan. That yoga should be practiced in connection with Krishna. Therefore he said, Mat Asra. Mat means me or mine. And Asra means taking shelter. So either you take shelter of Krishna or Krishna's representative. Of course, it is not possible for us to take shelter of Krishna because Krishna is not present at the present moment, but his representative is there. So one has to take shelter of his representative and practice bhakti-yoga, concentrating his mind on Krishna. This is called Krishna consciousness. One has to take shelter of a person whose life is devoted to Krishna, and under his direction we have to practice how to develop Krishna consciousness, and then Krishna will be revealed. The revelation, proportionate revelation is proportionate advancement in seeing Krishna directly.
so yeah, this sounds like he's talking about Guru Yoga.
Yeah. Totally.
You know, you have a teacher, and that teacher teaches you how to be, how to attain union with God.
Yeah, so we are well aware of this because we studied Tibetan Buddhism quite a bit, and then you surrender onto a guru, and that's your teacher.
The guru is Buddha, the guru is Dharma,
the guru is
Sangha.
and then so hopefully, you know, the guru is enlightened, or at least a higher level than you, and has some attainments, and then that's how it works. And then they give you direction and guidance, and then you follow the teachings, and then you advance as well. Seems like he's teaching, you know, the same thing, right? You know, because I think it's going to be rare for somebody to, you know, surrender onto Krishna and become a devotee, maybe, you know, without any guidance, right? But I do think that it is possible, you know, without a teacher. But I'm not saying that I didn't have teachers. I'm just saying I had different sorts of teachers, and that still led me towards Krishna to the point where I am a Krishna devotee and I am surrendered onto Krishna, but I didn't do it through, a Krishna devotee per se. So I became a Krishna devotee without surrendering onto a Krishna devotee first. And I think that is possible because Krishna is everywhere, right? By seeking the ultimate truth and then reading the Bhagavad Gita with an open mind and then getting some insights and some realizations and then be like, oh my God, right?
Yeah.
And then it just happens, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's just teaching one path, right? He's not saying that this is the only path.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so beautiful. Yeah, teachers are important, like His Holiness the Dalai Lama said. You can go all the way without a teacher, but with a teacher, it's going to be faster.
Oh yeah, totally. But remember too that, Krishna himself is a teacher. The Bhagavad Gita is a teaching manual, and he is teaching us, all of us. So, the supreme teacher.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess when you surrender onto Krishna, he will make sure that, you get all the support you need. And if you have the karma to actually be, have a real life teacher, then that will appear on your path.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't need that, then it won't happen, so...
Yeah, so...
And until that point, you just have faith and then just keep going and see what happens, what unfolds. For Roger, it has not been a teacher yet.
Well, it has. Well,
yeah, not like that you talk to.
Yeah, not a personal teacher.
A personal teacher, yeah.
But I did have what I will call my first main teacher. That was
Yeah, I know, but
incredible.
When they talk about Guru Yoga, they mean like a personal teacher, right?
Yeah, person, totally. Yeah. And you're having that now, so that manifested.
I'm having that right now.
Sabina's path, so it was needed.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely, and it just manifested. I was craving it for so long, for so many years, and then it was completely not planned. Like especially that teacher that I have, I didn't expect that at all. Yeah. But then it manifested, and here we are. Now I can ask questions and have like a personal relationship. It's incredible. And do the teachers have to be enlightened? No, they could. No,
they just need
not
to be.
At all.
They're helping you, so they've had realizations. Doesn't mean that they have to be totally transcended the ego, but they're being of service, right? So just a genuine teacher who is like, more loving, caring, and compassionate, and being of service to others, and wanting to help people advance. They all play their part. If they're dedicated to that, then you can gain insights from that because, just the consciousness is, they meld. There's a union there in a way. So then the realizations of the teacher, he's able to, explain it, and then there's a penetration also happening within consciousness that will help these realizations manifest. So, very cool. The guru and the teacher is very, very necessary, right? And surrender takes place, right? So Swami Prabhupada was also saying, so you're surrendering on to, the guru, a devotee of Krishna, but your mind is focused on Krishna, right? Yeah. So, same with Guru Yoga and Tibetan Buddhism, you're focusing on the Buddha nature, the mind of the Buddha, which is represented in the Guru, right? Yeah.
So, in honor of Swami Prabhupada and Sri Krishna, let's all chant the Krishna mantra together, you at home and us here.
Let's do it.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Third time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All glory to the Lord.
Yeah. Wonderful. So thank you so much for joining us for this wonderful video. If you liked it as much as we did, please hit that like button. Remember to subscribe. It really helps the channel. Let us know what you think down in the comments and any tidbits that we might have missed or overlooked. Any important details, let us know. And the most important thing is to raise yourself
and raise the world. Thank you so much, everyone. And a very special thank you to all our members. We love you.
Peace.